Whiskey 4, Delta Mike Lima.
Delta Mike Lima, Roger. What's the name there, please?
Roger. What's the name there, please? Name is Doug. I'm located in Franklin, Tennessee, just south of Nashville. And I'm running another old radio, and I did want to get somebody knowledgeable to give me an opinion about the audio. It's a 58-year-old Swan SW-240 with a Shure 444 microphone.
Okay, it's a Swan SW-240?
Swan SW-240 QSL.
All right, well, the first heave that you've managed to achieve is that you're on frequency. You seem to be directly on frequency, Roger?
Directly on frequency, Roger. QSL, well, the way I stay on frequency is I leave this thing on all the time.
Okay, now I think it might have worked up a little higher there, just a tad, but it's very close, and it sounds pretty good for the age. Obviously, you have no equalization, internal equalization, but we do have a ALC. Is that a Roger?
We do have a ALC. Is that a Roger? The audio.
Frequency is in use. Frequency is in use.
Frequency is in use. Frequency is in use.
Doug, I think it is. Why don't you tell me about the thing you really like best about that Swan, and let me listen to your audio. Couple of months ago, and I guess my new station is an Aircraft K3, and that's, a better station I've got, but I've got a lot of vintage gear, and this thing is addictive. Ever since I got it up and running, I can't seem to leave it alone, so that's what I'm doing, W4DML. Roger, Doug. Well, gosh, EQ is pleasing. It doesn't have a lot of bottom end, but it does sound pretty articulated, so the words are easy to understand, so that's 90% of it. Probably might want to get a frequency meter just to ensure frequency consistency. Roger.
Consistency, Roger. QSL, I've got one. In fact, I'm looking at it on the spectrum analyzer right now, just trying to see what it's doing. But that's the funny thing. If I cut it on in the morning, and within a few hours, it's still not stable. But if I just you can cut the supply as it's labeled off, and leave it on where it's just getting power to the filaments, and I leave it on all night, and it's relatively stable. But it's not otherwise.
Yes, sir. Well, that's the thing about the frequency meter. You'll probably be doing catch-up quite a bit there, consistently. Even on the best of days, frequency meter will give you something to work with, Roger.
Something to work with, Roger. QSL, and like I said, I've got one, and I just haven't. Well, it's sitting right here in front of me. It's one of those DD-103 Universal Digital frequency meter, but I just haven't hooked it up to this thing yet. When it's not warmed up, I spend enough time just chasing the change in pitch on the receive to try to keep up with it. But let it stay warm, it does much better. But I do appreciate you giving me the feedback, because you never know how you're sounding out there to other folks in the QSO.
Yeah, Roger, Doug. Well, you shouldn't have to do much hooking up there, just a little telescopic antenna for input, because you're only reading that radio in the transmit mode, so it doesn't take much of an input for the frequency meter to give you a display, Roger.
QSL, well, the one I'm talking about just wires into the IF, but I'm looking at, like I said, I've got a Siglet spectrum analyzer, and then I can follow it and see what I'm jumping around much, and it doesn't look like that I am for the moment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Normally, a frequency meter would be just an external device, simplistically, that you would just couple with ambient RF with a telescopic antenna, and it would give you a very reliable signal, Roger.
Doug, are you still there, sir?
Doug, are you still there, sir?
Doug, you might have hit your VFO. Might have hit your VFO there. I don't know if that Swan has got a lock mode or not, but for anybody listening, always engage the lock on your radios when you're in QSO mode. That way you can prevent accidentally winding up on another frequency. Well, all right, we're 8 minutes till 5. We're going to wrap it up at 5, so we got to move along here. Doug, 73, sir, you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. We'll catch you next Friday if you can. And if you want to hear your audio, go to YouTube, do a call letter search, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And that will bring you to our Qso-Vlog page, 2000 Qso-Vlog recordings. This will be cut number 1. We'll have it uplifted by noon tomorrow. This is KC9VKV, the first Qso-Vlog network show for 2022. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Radio you want to check out, give me a shout.